It is going to go live right away. Never mind. Hi, everybody. Good to see everybody. Now you can say hi to everybody.
Okay.
Hi,
Hi,
Danny.
Elsie. Hi, there. Hi, Kellen. Hi,
Hi,
Danny.
Danny.
Hi, there.
Oh,
Hi, Kellen.
so one of the things that you have to
Hi,
do.
Danny. Oh, I am not on YouTube actually.
Okay, it was me. So, hey, everybody. Good to see you. Um, I was a little bit worried because I had been gone so long today. I got home at 5 o'clock, and I was like, "Oh no, did I get enough time in to get?" I had watched your videos, but I had done it a couple days. I like to usually do it nice and fresh, and so I can write some questions down. But this is Star Homestead from India. What is your? Can you tell everybody? I know what your name is, but can you tell everybody how to pronounce your name?
Well, the first name is Revanth. Um,
Ray
Revanth.
Raven. Okay.
Yes, it's a two-syllable word. It also means like everybody in India has a name, a meaning for the name.
Mm-hmm.
So my name means trainer of horses.
Okay.
The funny thing is, I never rode a horse or never seen any horse in the wild here. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So did
So
you
that
ever ask your parents why they name you trainer of horse?
yeah, I did actually. I think it was back in my high school. I asked like there was this teacher in my class, and she was like going around asking everybody, "What does your name mean?"
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know. So I went home and I asked my mother, what's the name, the meaning of my name?" And she says that it's a trainer of horses and so stuff. And she also picked that name from her one of her favorite TV series that she used to watch back in her teen days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, Ginger. So
Hi,
tell
Jim.
me, how long have you been homesteading?
Um, it started after the 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I used to live in a city. I used to live in like a three-story apartment. All my life, we stayed in cities, and we never had a chance to have a garden anytime before.
Mm-hmm.
So this happened. Was I was happy in the sense I thought I was happy. Everything was fast. Everything was digital, electronic stuff. So I thought life was really going good. This is what good means. But
Mm-hmm.
after 2019, I felt so helpless. So many people with me who stayed in the cities and in those big apartments actually felt helpless because we couldn't get the useful things, like we ran out of food and stuff. So
Mm.
that's when I decided, okay, it's time that we have to move to some remote location where we can have some space to grow our own food and avoid all those pesticides and things they use to grow food, GMO foods.
Yeah.
So I was really concerned about my health and also the health of my family members and friends. So we all discussed and we moved to this place in
Mm-hmm.
the month of Feb 2020. That was 2 years ago. So
Nice.
yes, I started homesteading since then.
Okay.
Uh, it was more like a trial and error method. I
Mm-hmm.
have no idea of raising chickens or um, I know how to plant a tree, but I didn't
Right.
know how to take care of it. And but
So
I
so
watched, yes,
you watched a lot of videos?
a lot of videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yes,
me too. I think most of us YouTubers on TV, our TV on YouTube, learned from other YouTubers, which was great. So you have a garden. What do you grow in your garden?
Um, there are no permanent plants that I grow actually, because it's mostly seasonal. I started growing millets. We call them as millets. I think there might be millets in other countries also. I'm not sure, but
Okay.
these are like tiny, grainy. It's like a supplement to rice, because
Okay.
rice has more starch, less nutrients
Yeah.
compared to millets. So
Mm-hmm.
I have grown them and harvested, and I fed them to my chickens. We also had some dishes, some recipes made of millets. Then
Nice.
after that, we went ahead and started growing the vegetables that we get here from the local farmers market.
Right.
So yeah, I got those saplings from them. It's
Mm-hmm.
easier to get saplings than grow it from from a seed. That's what I have learned recently. So I have brinjals. I think we call them as eggplants. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I have marigolds,
Okay.
calendulas, red ochras. I also have jasmine, which is
Nice.
most coveted plant.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Anybody wants to have, especially if you have Indian women, they love the jasmine flowers. They actually weave them together and
Okay.
kind of braid them into a hair into their hair.
Nice.
Smells good, and
Yeah.
yeah, they look different. They look beautiful in that flowers. So yeah,
Nice.
I have that plan. I'm also growing some tomatoes in raised garden beds. It's
Mm-hmm.
not one of those wooden things that I've seen on YouTube, because here we have termites and it rains sometimes, so the wood isn't that good. It won't um, be good in that weather. So I we made some cement throws.
Okay.
We usually use them for tanks here. Like we underground, we install the cement throws and use it for storing the rainwater, or
Nice.
we don't have borewell. So I use them as a raised garden bed. It's easier, yeah, rather than building one. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So, how many chickens do you have? Do you even know?
Yes, I do. I have 22 chickens,
Nice.
um, a pair of turkeys, three rabbits, and two pairs of Australian budgies. They're like little parrots.
Okay.
Yeah, so people actually love them a lot because their sound resembles our Indian parakeet here.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot raise Indian parrots. It's against the law. So
Oh, okay.
we get Australian budgies uh,
Nice.
for that. You know.
So that's a more of a pet then?
Yes, it's
Okay.
more of a pet, but actually, I have seen people turning them into small scale business,
Mm-hmm.
like a passive income. Usually, budgies lay for every 2 months, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and each of them will cost around 500 rupees. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Nice.
that's a lot
So is
compared to.
that your plan with those birds?
I Yes, I have plans to do that. Um,
Nice.
yes, it needs a different type of coop, so I have to learn how to build it.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
But if you ask me if I want to turn my chickens to a passive income, then yes, there is a breed that is native to my country.
Okay. And what
People
is
use it.
that breed?
It's called Asil,
Okay.
Aseel. These are huge birds. They usually use for um, competitions. Um, you know, the who's
Fights?
yes.
Okay.
Uh, Although not everybody raises them for fights, they
Okay.
just love to keep them around in their garden. They're like dogs. they
Oh,
pro-
okay.
they protect the
Because
other
they're so
chickens.
big, yeah. And they're
Yeah,
protective?
yes, they're
Nice.
so protective.
Wow. Um, so what is your goal with your homestead?
Um, my goal is to be self-reliant. That's one of the um, uh, a skill that I'm learning. I want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
All this time, I felt like somebody else was ruling our lives or taking control of our lives. We always ate what others uh, grown, and we don't know what goes in there.
Right.
And I never had space in India. It's very hard to find space. Let it be in your own home, or we don't have gardens here, backyards here. We just live in
Mm-hmm.
one huge concrete jungle together. So that actually pushed me. And
Okay.
my plans here is to also to show people that I know, my friends and families, that it is not dangerous to do homesteading. People think it is dangerous because of um, panthers, what do you call, leopards roaming around, tigers and elephants and all. So we have lots of wildlife, and it's not that dangerous. So I'm gonna be an example. I'm gonna be that example, that where you can actually do homesteading in India and
Mm-hmm.
also be happy about it.
So how do you protect your flock from those animals? Because they roam in the city, they roam everywhere, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The place that I stay has a lot of mountains, so we have lots of leopards here. So many leopards. I installed a 7-foot fence around my garden. It's a metal fence with cement posts here and there. But for a leopard, it's nothing. It can just jump in and take away your chickens if it
Yeah.
wants. Um, but we install lights and some motion detectors. But the best deterrent that we use is we use uh, a kind of a firecracker, like I, I think it's called as roll cape pistol or something. It's not exactly a real pistol, but uh, kids use it to uh,
It's
you
like a
know
flare, maybe?
yeah, it doesn't shoot flares, but just the noise.
Okay.
It's a loud bang noise. Yeah. So we use them, and even sloth bears, they also they just go back. We can repel so many predators with that. But if
Right.
it's in the night, then we have to be cautious because we cannot do anything. So what I did was I made cages with metal. So I lock all my chickens and all my livestock up with a
Okay.
huge metal cage around, so nothing can go inside. And but we cannot deter snakes. We have cobras here. We have king cobras, since
Mm-hmm.
it's a protected species and religiously acclaimed. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot I cannot do any injuries. So, and they don't hear your noise if you,
Yeah.
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 So that's hard. That's the only thing that is hard. Yes.
So have you lost animals to snakes?
My uncle did actually. He lost 7 chickens to
Wow.
one cobra. It just started biting the chickens, and the chickens wouldn't leave because they have chicks. They are protecting their chicks. So it's
Yeah.
mostly hens that they lost
Yeah.
their lives. And this cobra guy, I mean this cobra, he did not move. There were like 5 6 people trying to deter him away, but he
Mm-hmm.
did not move. He just stood there and did its work. So that was actually scary. I
Yeah.
mean, if you have predator around, it is not scared of you, then
Mm-hmm.
we have to be scared from that moment. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. The only predators I have to really worry about are coyotes, maybe some bear. I do have to worry about snakes as well,
Hmm.
um, but venomous snakes as well here, but not like the king cobra. I mean, that's a different story altogether.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then like in America, if we have something attacking our livestock, usually we can dispatch it or kill it.
Okay.
Um, and you can't, right? That
No, we can't actually. If we injure the animal in any way, we would be thrown in jail and also be fined heavily. So the only protocol that we can use here is to call the forest people, forest offices. But it's usually by the time they arrive, the damage is done. So I have seen
yeah.
people losing their lives because of that. I have seen people who lost their lives because of the king cobra venom, got bitten by it. We can't we can't kill it. So the only thing is to take the person to the hospital, and if the polyvenin is there, he or she would survive. If not, then you would lose them.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a separate sect of people here in India who consider themselves like direct children of God. So if somebody gets bitten, they just take the person and put them in front of the statue, the goddess statue there. And if the goddess, uh, if she wants the person to live, then she would let the person live. If not, people actually die in front of the statue, and then they get cremated.
Okay. So they don't bring them to the hospital. They bring them to a statue. Is that what I'm
Yeah.
understanding?
Yes, that those group of people actually believe that they don't need hospitals. Um, they believe that their God actually can heal every pain, every injury, and if you are from outside, like even I cannot enter their villages
Mm-hmm.
with my shoes on, so I have to remove my shoes in the beginning of the village, and I have to walk on barefoot all the way like 5-10 kilometers to reach
Mm-hmm.
their village. And um, if you are in there, you cannot actually, you're not welcome to stay in there. So
Yeah.
those are
So
really, yeah.
so you're a Christian.
Yes, I am.
How does that affect you? I mean, we believe in a God that heals too, but
Yeah.
most Christians would still bring their person to the hospital, um, because we're not. I guess how is it being a Christian in India with you have Muslims there, right? And you
Yes.
have Buddhists. Or what are all the main religions there?
Well, the main is Hinduism.
Okay.
A lot of Hindus here. Muslims and Christians are in minority, so we are very few. Um, we also have Sikhs.
Okay.
Sikhs. We have Punjabis, the Jats we call them as. So the Sikhs and Jats are the ones who actually go into military because they're huge, like 6 feet, 7 foot, and most of their family members are into military. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they are really good fighters, and Sikhs are allowed to carry their swords even in the airplanes, railway stations. So it's their weapon, and you cannot actually, no law is against it. So they're basically considered as armed always. Um,
Okay.
we also
Even
have Buddhists.
even when they're not in the military, or when they're in the
Yeah,
military.
it's just their culture. It doesn't matter whether they are in the military or not.
Okay.
If they are in the military, then they could carry um, open and carry and conceal and carry both the guns. But you don't have to be in the military to carry a sword if you are born a Sikh.
Okay. Yeah, Bob's saying Sikhs are giants.
Yes, yes, Bob. Hi.
um, so, so Christians are a small minority. How does that work as far as, I mean, you obviously, most of those religions don't eat meat and believe that animals are precious and this. How does that work as a homesteader? How does that work as a Christian? Are you allowed to eat your chickens? I mean, it seems like a silly question, but how
um,
does?
well, there is a law that you can do whatever you want in your home or in your premises, but I cannot raise cows or buffaloes for meat. I
Okay.
cannot, yeah, I cannot injure them in any way. Um, I have, there are some places where you can get buffalo meat, but it
Mm-hmm.
is mostly surrounded by Muslims. So you can actually go and get it if you want, uh, but it's kind of a risky thing. It's very risky to go and buy buffalo
Yeah.
meat. We
Yeah.
don't get cow meat anywhere, although our country actually is the number three in export of beef to other
Mm.
countries. Yeah, so we can export them, but we cannot eat them. So because
Okay.
it's very holy, um, and considered as protected because they are holy, their god is mostly cows. um, Chickens you can eat. It doesn't matter whether you can butcher them on your own. um, but if you really want somebody else to do your job, then it's mostly the Muslims who have the chicken centers
Mm-hmm.
where they sell meat. So they do that halal thing,
Even
and
though they don't,
everybody
most
accepts.
most Muslims don't eat meat as well. Am I correct?
Um, yeah, not the beef though.
Oh, okay.
The buffalo meat, yes. Chicken, yes. But they have to they have to butcher it themselves. Like they only go to the shops where it says this store is owned by a Muslim, and
Mm-hmm.
the thing halal is printed on the store, on the front, the store front.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why we don't see
No.
them. We don't get to see them in restaurants here
Okay.
because meat is not um, butchered by a Muslim. So they don't actually show up to many restaurants here.
Okay. So, as a Christian, how do you practice your religion there? I mean, do you have churches? Do you have meetings? How does that work?
We have churches here. We have Lutherans. We have Protestants. We have Baptists. We have Latter Day Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have Pentecostal. So we
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of denominations here. So many denominations, but we cannot actually um, like say something in the public. We cannot put out speakers or loud boom speakers. We cannot play music or any kind of hymns. Um, Previously, it was good. Like 3 decades ago, everybody used to go to church. Everybody used to go to temple. So it was all kind of a social thing. It was no
Mm-hmm.
longer religious. It was a social thing. So people used to go for Christmas and New Year. They used to come to church. They go to the pastor, and the pastor actually gives them a kind of a card, says that how good are you, like it's him, like verses, scripture verses.
Mm-hmm.
And any religious person who enters that day on the Christmas, if they get that special card or a flyer, they think it's it's very precious. So they treat it with respect, and they carry it the whole year, and they believe in it. And it was like that 30 years ago, but now we don't get to see many people in churches. And you cannot preach here. You cannot convert people. Even if you have a friend, who has some questions about God or Christianity, you can say, yes, I'm a Christian and I go to church on Sundays, but you cannot actually explain what is Bible or
Hmm.
who is God and how do we do that. So if somebody else listens to that conversation, then they label you as a converter, and it's a very dangerous thing to be called as in India. You
Yeah.
might get locked up, or worse, if
Mm-hmm.
you find out that you're talking about Christ or
Mm-hmm.
conversion and God.
So, are you allowed to have a Bible?
Yeah, we can have Bible in our homes, and
Okay.
we can also buy them from special stores. We don't get to see them in normal bookstores here. We don't get
Yeah.
to buy Bibles like that. So a Christian who has taken a license to sell religious books and artifacts, we have to go to him and buy stuff.
Okay. So, how does that work with a non? Would can a non-Christian go in that store and buy something like that?
Yes,
Okay.
uh, all religions are welcome there, but you cannot actually force them to buy. You cannot say, take this Bible. You cannot say that. It has to be
Right.
the other person. Yes.
I see.
And
Wow.
yeah, I used to actually, back in high school, I used to ask my friends to come for Christmas and for
Mm-hmm.
Easter, but now I cannot actually, because
Right.
if I do so, then they think that I'm converting them. So I stopped inviting people for festivals, anything that has to do with Christianity.
Wow. So I can see why you believe in standing up for for what you believe in, but it's so dangerous where you are. I mean, here we're not. It's not as dangerous, and you're like, what are you guys afraid of?
Yes.
When you talk to us, you're like, well, what are you guys afraid of? And we're like, well, we might lose our YouTube channel, and you're like, that's nothing.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, yeah. Anne says, have courage. Anne's a
Thank you, Anne.
believer as well. Um, really neat lady. I don't know if you know her, but I'm sure you do. She's got a neat channel. Um,
Yes, Anne.
Ann Dale, yes. Um, so does that go into any of your decisions as far as homesteading? And do you raise your meat, or do you raise your chickens for food or just eggs, or you know any of that?
Um, yeah, I cannot sell my my produce, the produce from the homesteading to Muslims. I cannot do that. Um, but the other religions can buy. It's mostly Christians, though. I mean, the moment if somebody finds out that a Christian is selling a chicken, so they'll think very less of you, and
Hmm.
they'll think all your chickens are infected in some way because you are less. So whatever you have is lesser than you. So it's
So as
kind
a
of.
Christian, you're considered less than
Oh
other.
yes, yeah. As a Christian, we are considered that we came out from the feet of the God here. So whoever is beneath the feet of the God is considered as dust. So basically, we are considered as dust.
Hmm.
So
Makes
that's
me
the
think.
reason. Like we don't get to marry outside of Christian community. Um, if you actually find a person whom you like or love from other religions, they'll probably put you in a situation where it becomes uh, very worse. Like you cannot live here in this country. You might have to go out. Um, so you cannot actually talk to or um, date somebody who is not of my religion. It is very dangerous. Somebody, if the parents of the girl finds out that she's dating a Christian, then they have some techniques that they'll put you away for good
So
if
how
you
does
don't
that
back
work?
up.
How does
Yeah.
that work for work? Is do you know, can you work for a business that has people from different religions, or is it yes?
Yes. Yes. I
Okay.
can work in any company, any business. I can have any business. I can have colleagues of different races and different religions, though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can talk to them. You can socialize. Uh, but chance of them inviting you to their home would be 1%, and the chance of me inviting them will be zero.
So
So
Ann,
yeah.
go ahead, finish your thought, but Ann Dale has a question for you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to keep that in on the level so I don't say something that incriminates either of us or cancels the channel. Um, well, this is all my experience, so I'm not stating
I think
facts.
she's more worried about your personal, are you personally, can you be personally attacked for being on the internet or get in trouble in
If
saying these?
I say something that provokes them, then it would be so. But
Okay.
I did not say anything. Just my own experience within
Okay.
my stream. So I'm fine. Thank you, Anne. Thank you for that. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So I'm sorry. We
so
were talking about work
yes,
and
work.
yes. And
So
so you can work in a business with all kinds of different religions. And is it
yes.
so so do you feel any prejudice in as far as because you're considered lower
Mm-hmm.
in the workplace?
Yes.
Okay.
They'll be all your colleagues, your boss. They'll be super good with you until there is an opportunity where you have to talk. You have to tell them that you are a Christian, and everything falls apart from that. So
Mm.
you may not get that promotions that you're looking for. You may not get that raise that you're looking for, and you may not get to speak or have friends that you want to hang out with. So automatically you are confined to another Christian friend with you. So eh,
Hmm.
they just assume that it's going to be in that way. And they won't actually sit with you and eat lunch or share any kind of food.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So we have it real easy. I mean, we considered it, in America it's changing a little bit for Christians and not anywhere close to what you've experienced at any level. And we have no right to complain at all. um, so your parents were Christian and then they raised you as a Christian. If you change your faith, do you have to like is it like documented that you're a Christian or how is that how does that work?
Yes. Once we become Christians, and your caste. I think the caste also changes. My father did not change my caste. So if you're a minority, like if you're a Christian or a Muslim, you'll get a different caste. And by that, the caste will be mentioned on your ID and also your religion. So wherever you carry, they know that whether you are a Christian or some other religions. And you're not allowed to go to some places.
Yeah.
It is, yeah, they'll say if you're a Christian, doesn't matter whether you're Indian or not, you're not allowed. So yes, the caste changes. But what happens is once you change a caste, you have all this grants from the government, some benefits here and there. But if you go out in the society with that ID, then you would probably feel that you are in a totally different country, and people obviously hate you for who you are.
Hmm.
So it's like that. Yeah. So the caste is imprinted on us, and so is the religion. But you can actually change religions if you want. I can
Okay.
become a Muslim or Hindu, but the caste is gonna remain same. I cannot go up. I can actually downgrade my caste, but I cannot upgrade it.
So caste meaning, what does that mean exactly? Caste meaning what?
It's a sect of people created based on the work they do. For example, the higher caste people have lands, they have temples. It's like they own the government. They are the government. Okay, so that's called higher caste. Then when you come down for schedules, like where you have benefits from the government to help them, what do you call it? Get
So are you
job.
saying class? Or are you talking, because in America we say class. It sounded like you were saying caste. Is it?
Uh, Class is different. Yes,
Okay.
caste different. Caste is something that, for example, okay, let me put this in this way. We have people who actually repair shoes here, shoes
Hmm.
and flip flops on the side of the road, right?
Yeah.
Um, so the person who does that, he has to be born in that caste to do that work.
Okay.
So he's considered as a dust. There is a word in my language which I'm not going to use here. He is considered as the dust because he deals with the dust. He deals with the crap that is attached to your foot, and he's the one who repairs them, right? So all
Hmm.
his children will be considered as that caste, no matter if they get educated or have their own business and all. They'll be still considered as that caste.
That caste.
So
So
yeah,
there's no, you can't change your caste then
yeah,
at all.
you
You
cannot.
can go lower caste, but not higher caste in any way.
Yes. Hmm. Yes.
Okay. I can see why a bunch of you guys want to come to America.
The funny thing is, the most higher class people actually afford to go to Americas and study because they have lots of money. They are rich. You don't
Yeah.
get visas, you don't get the application from the university unless you show enough money, property here. And
Wow.
those are the people who have, and they come to Americas. And I don't know whether they realize what they have been doing back in their country. I never seen anybody to come to me and say, "Brother, I can understand your pain. I've been to Americas." Nobody said that. I never heard that.
So does that limit your income or how much you can make then too as well? I mean, being a certain caste. I mean, like, okay, so you're on YouTube
Yes,
and you can start making money off of YouTube once you're at a certain level.
yes, true.
Um, Actually, I think it's now you can start making money even at the level that you're at. Everybody subscribe to his channel, by the way. um, so there's no problem with making money from outside of the country or any of that. There any cap on your income as the caste that you are?
No, there is no such thing as that because of my religion. Uh, I think it's new laws that avoiding us to do cryptocurrency. We cannot do cryptocurrency. We can, but it's no longer a profitable thing. Uh, I
Yeah,
don't
it
know
isn't
how.
for anybody really.
Yeah, um, I have seen people who actually work remote jobs for the companies in USA.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, there is no cap on them, so they could actually get good amount. I mean, good pay.
Okay,
Consider we work locally. If you're
but
working somewhere here, if you are a Christian, then see most of the companies are named after the gods in India. So the head of the company, the people who manage them are from that religion and that caste. So if you have to reach that position, that is a dream. So that won't come true. You'll be where you are until you retire.
Okay. Wow. So so what you're saying, and I'm just saying it, I'm just trying to tell you what I'm hearing so that we
Okay.
understand. You could make more money and probably live a little bit better, but the caste that you're in doesn't give you any more privilege. So,
Yes, exactly.
okay. Now, does the caste have to do with where you live as well? Or if you make more money, can you, you know, you like you have a little bit of land now
Yes.
and you were living in the city before. Is that because you made more money, or is it a privilege only for your caste?
um you can actually stay um anywhere you want, but if you want to buy land, you have to. There is no law against it. I can buy land anywhere. I can build a home anywhere, but it's like unspoken law. If you have your neighbors, like two neighbors, two, three neighbors here who is not of your religion, then you're not advised to stay there.
Okay.
Yeah. So even if you buy a land and build a house later, you're gonna have lots of issues with your neighbors, and they will actually try to push you out. And there'll be some radical here and there. They just come and slit your throat and go. So it's best advice to stick to those special places where your caste people live. It's mostly like in a kind of a slum type situation. You'll not have enough space. You have to like one bedroom apartment next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
No, not very spacious, and but you'll be safe because you're all of one caste. If something happens, everybody comes to your aid, to your
Okay.
rescue.
Interesting. Wow, you live in a dangerous place.
Yes.
uh, and Dale has another question for you.
Who has Annadale? Okay.
She's
Ability to have a paper type account. Yes, we can have PayPal accounts here, but I don't know, the new norms actually were updated and my PayPal doesn't work anymore. I have to check with that. I don't know what's happening with that PayPal account. Yes, but yeah, people have a lot of them here. I think if you have a better a Hindu name, you might have all the accounts working.
okay. But if you don't, then so you have a Christian name as well? Is
No,
no.
my parents insisted to keep this name. Thing is, my name is in many religions here. It's
Okay.
in Hindu, yeah. It's in uh, Christianity and other names and all. It's not in the Muslim though because they don't have the meaning for that. But yeah, other religions, yeah. I have people who have same name who are not of my religion or caste. Yes.
Okay. So does that make things a little easier if
A
you're
little
just
easier, yes. If you say
okay?
your name, it's like if your name is Peter or John or David, probably you're not. They won't let you in, or
Yeah.
they won't let you go. So my name is Ravent, and they'll say, okay, this guy looks like one of
Like
those
you could be
Brahmins.
any yeah.
Yeah, like you know, big and huge. Yeah, you're one of those upper caste guy. You can go
Oh, okay.
just because of the name. Yes,
Yeah. Well, that helps.
that helps. Yes, that helps. Yes. I'll surely do that, and yes, I'll do that. Thank you,
um,
Kelly.
so you have chickens, you have turkeys.
Yes.
Um, what kind of holidays do you celebrate? as a Christian in your country?
Um, we can celebrate Christmas. Um, that's the only time where you have churches open to you can light them up. You can have some decorations even outside, like on the building.
Okay,
You can keep
nice.
for a few days, then you have to remove them later. But Good Friday, I have seen people, a lot of people actually come to the kind of flock, and they'll take some public grounds on lease for a few days, like
Mm-hmm.
rent them out, and they would they would watch um, how Christ has suffered for our sins. They have all these movies they play on that day, and it's like a festival. But most of them actually come and sit and cry a lot. There's a movie by your I don't know whether he's from USA or some place. His name is Mel Gibson. There's a movie called
Yes,
Passion of Christ.
yes,
Yeah, we love a lot. We love that movie a lot, and we play that movie so many times. And
yeah. We love it
that's
here
the
in
only time we
America
see
too.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like I don't know where they hide. They're like termites. They come to that special event, and there are so many. Sometimes I think I look at, oh my goodness, there are so many Christians here. Why can't I see them in the on Sundays?
Mm-hmm.
Sundays.
I wonder if they're afraid.
Yeah, obviously. We're afraid, yes.
Have This is kind of a careful question. You don't have to answer any question that I put out there, by the way. I should have
Okay.
let you know that.
Uh,
Um, do you, has any Christians been attacked that you know of, and or churches that you know of?
there were some issues back up north.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's there on the news on YouTube.
So they do
Uh,
put it on the news.
yes, I mean they couldn't delete it because people were sharing it continuously, so they had to keep it. I think most of them are being erased now, removed from social media. You may not find a lot of stories that happen, but New York Times um, and other papers from your country actually have those posts. They still keep it with them.
Yeah.
Uh, we can access them. Yes, we can actually access them. Yes.
Okay. So is there any limit on accessing any information in your country?
Well, right now we have struggled with religious freedom and freedom of speech. So I think people are more scared, and we feel like we are being watched. Yes, of course we are being watched. Um, it's a mandatory to give your all five thumbprints for every single ID that you take. That's the most recent thing. And unless you do that, you cannot actually pay anywhere. You cannot pay in your to pay to buy something in a grocery store, or you cannot actually travel to few places. So they take all your biometrics, even the iris of your, there's a
Wow.
thing called iris, an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have to vote, all these things has to match before going to the ballet station, the voting station. So all the information about us, it's out there.
Okay.
I think it's just I don't know why. Um, I'm not going to go with conspiracies here, but I think it's to keep an eye on people who are not of the majority. Or
Hmm.
like this.
So is there any problem in anybody voting at all? Other than people, they have to have the proper ID. That
Um,
makes some sense.
yes, we have to have proper ID. We cannot actually uh, do any kind of fake from our side. If anybody does, then it's them actually.
Yeah.
So because they control everything, so they can actually do whatever they want. But we can actually vote for anybody we want. But this is a funny thing that happens during that election period. People actually come to the place where all the lower caste people live, like
Mm-hmm.
villages, or what do you call, um, a community, and
Mm-hmm.
they come and they ask for votes, and they will actually pick you up on the day of voting, and they'll drive you to your voting ballet, and they'll stay until you actually vote for them, and they'll pay you also. They'll pay you like 2 grand or 3 grand.
To vote for them.
Yes, it
Mhm.
happens, but there is no record of it. So this is just my experience again.
Yeah.
um, if you are of a lower caste, then you could actually make some money. If you don't want money, then you can actually get a bottle of alcohol and some other stuff for your family. They do actually pick us up and drive.
Right.
Yeah.
Here in America, in some of the states, you do not have to have a ID of any kind to vote, um, and they will actually, in some states, not the state I'm in Tennessee, you have to have an ID, you have to be registered, and you also have to show up with your ID, and you have to go in. But in some states, like in Oregon, where I came from, you would end up with a ballot would come to your house, and anybody could take that ballot and vote. And my brother could vote for, he still can at this point. My brother's been dead for 10 years, and he still can vote because they keep on sending him a ballot. So
Oh my goodness, that's. I don't think that's very accurate way of voting there. Um, I think you should have an ID, but not like ours. Yeah. I,
yeah, you shouldn't have to give every finger,
every
every
finger to
digit.
your IDs and all. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So um,
How would they know that only Americans have voted if you don't have an ID? Wouldn't that be like anybody come and vote for your country? And so that's dangerous. That's what I feel.
yeah, yeah. And that's one of the things that in a lot of channels and areas you can't even talk about. So
Yeah.
like on Twitter and stuff like that. And so it's interesting. Um, thank you. Yeah. um, do you so when so people of your class, they don't come to your neighborhood and do the same thing. It's only the lower caste people.
People of my religion or caste, I never seen them go into politics. Even if they did, they wouldn't win. Nobody would support them. Even their own people won't support them because he cannot pay them, right? Yes, he
Hmm.
cannot pay them. So um, I never seen a Christian politician here.
Yeah. So what religions are politicians the most in your country? Because there is quite a few.
Hindus, a lot. Majority of them are Hindus.
Okay.
Um, but I have seen also Muslims getting into politics a lot, and they have been becoming
Okay.
stronger than the other the other minority compared. So one is the Hindu, the majority. The next could be the Muslims if they go on competing. I think they would also have an upper hand, perhaps in 10 years.
Yeah. S- Yeah.
Yes.
Um, I mean, they're starting to move here a lot too. Do, so, in your country, the Muslim areas are dangerous.
Um,
You don't have to
Not for
answer
us
that.
though. I mean, as a Christian, I'm allowed. They love us, we love them also. So, um, uh, but you cannot actually go into like deep, like where the mausoleum or the mosque is, their place of worship. I don't think we can enter. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
I never been there. But there are some areas that only Orthodox Muslims stay, and if you took a walk or roam around doing nothing, I think they'll actually come and take you up. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What what would they come and take you up for? I mean,
They would ask you like, "Why are you here?" and all. So if your answers are not correct, then probably they'll.
okay.
I don't know what they'll do, but something that
And
is not correct, and there
and
is no
so
law to stop it. Laws don't apply if you are in the middle of uh, their places.
okay.
Deep, yeah.
So you're not protected there.
Protection, no. That's a dream here. I mean, um, the only protection is you. You have to fight back.
Right.
Know how to fight back. If not, run. I don't know how far you can run because they have people in their pockets. They
Hmm.
can they can actually track you very easily here.
Hmm.
But my father is actually a policeman. He's an inspector, retired inspector. So people actually take step back before they think to harm us or in any way because of my religion or my caste.
That's interesting. So your father's a police officer. So what is it like being a police officer there in
Well, he never took bribe in his life. He never liked the corruption. So compared to his friends and colleagues, um, he has very less. His colleagues actually made a lot of money, not from the pay that they get, from the other
Mm.
streams and all. Not everybody, it's most of them. So my father, he believes that even if you take a bribe, it's not going to last longer, and perhaps you might um, end losing more than you should. So he believes
Yeah.
in God. Yeah, he's a faithful person. He is more stronger than I am, that I can say, and he you cannot actually rattle him. You cannot. He doesn't shake easily. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
But
That's good.
I asked him once, like when I was young, I used to change schools in the middle of the term so many times. I used to ask my father, why do we need to move again? Why do we need to move again? Because today I don't have any friends that whom I grew up with. I don't have any childhood friends today
Hmm.
because I've been always moving to various cities. So I asked him one day, why do we have to move? Then he never told me then, but when I grew up, he told me that his superior officer asked him to take the bribe from somebody to cover up some kind of robbery or stuff like that. And he would stand up to them. He would say, no, I wouldn't take it. So they would just transfer him to a different
Oh,
place. Yeah, they did that a lot. I came to know
wow.
later that he did not bow down his head. So they kept on transferring everywhere. He could have been in a highest position when he got retired, but he did not because of the way that he is. And also he's a Christian, so two
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Wow. Um, so what kind of crime is there? I mean, is it is there a lot of crime or like I know in some countries um, because they kind of handle their own thing. There's less crime, but what is it like there?
We have lots of crime in the cities, but we don't get to see in remote areas, the place that I live in.
Hmm.
But if it is there, then it's mostly break-ins because the houses are really far away and there is no proper security here.
Mm-hmm.
Either you have to come with your own security, or it's just nothing. So it would be break-ins. They would actually steal your chickens. Um, Especially here, people who raise chickens, the farmers nearby, the other farmers nearby who stay, they are not homesteaders though. Like
Oh,
it's their father who does the farming. The others are in the cities studying and
yeah.
doing the college and all. So people who come from different villages, they come here and steal our chickens, and the chickens are usually roost. I mean, they send the chickens uh, for roosting on the tree tops.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no proper protection. There's no coop here. Nobody has a chicken coop here. They don't know what's a chicken coop. all
Mm-hmm.
they all they think is, if you have a chicken coop, then it's only for commercial chickens, the white ones, the broilers.
Okay. Yeah. The
Not
broilers. Yeah.
Yeah, because they cannot climb trees. They are huge and heavy.
Yeah.
But others, they train them to climb on tree tops in the night. People just come and throw a blanket or a kind of something, a sheet, and they would steal them. And if you have a seal chickens, and if you do not lock them up in the night, you would actually lose a lot, because it's like $100, $200 per bird. Two
Wow.
birds in US.
Yeah.
That's how
It,
much money it
it's
is.
like $5 to $7 right now, which is in America to buy a bird. And the broilers are like $2. Two to
Okay.
$3. Yeah.
One asil is like 50,000, 30,000, 100,000 rupees. So
Wow.
imagine the dollars
Yeah.
conversion.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah. So meat is all meat expensive?
No, chicken is cheap.
Okay.
I,
Okay.
I also seen people who eat pork here. I mean,
Yeah.
most of the Hindus actually eat pork. Pork is allowed, but people don't have pig farms here. They only raise them in animal husbandry, something related to the government. They only raise them
Right.
there. We could go and buy the meat from them. But
Okay.
I never seen a pig farmer here.
So if you were to sell stuff like food, meat, and stuff like that, you could only sell it to other Christians. Am I
Yes,
correct? Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Wow. Um, that's interesting. So is there a big enough market for you to sell chickens and things like that? Eggs?
No, no.
No,
Yeah,
because there's
it's
not a lot of Christians.
yeah. Even if you get into commercial chicken industry or business,
Hmm.
um, they wouldn't give you a license. I guess. I mean, you have to you have to be of their caste, because then all your chickens are corrupted because of you. So it's considered in that way. You cannot.
Huh.
Yeah, we don't have that much market here. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So it's so do you live by other Christians in your
Oh
little
yeah, yeah.
okay.
So there is a church here. It's a Lutheran church, and the place that we stay, the compound belongs to the church. So we pay the rent to the compound. But
Okay.
since it's my mother's grandmother's place, we only pay for the maintenance
Okay.
yearly,
Yeah.
um, like a property tax or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the place is really huge. We have other farmers nearby. They have like 5 acres, 10 acres farms. They really live far away, but all of them are Christians. Yes.
So are all the religions like that in your country? Meaning, are all the are the Sikhs? Do they all live in a community? And the 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 Hindus live in a community. Is that the way it goes?
Um, you can see Hindus everywhere. They don't they don't necessarily stay together unless they are like from the highest of the higher caste, where they
Hmm.
are allowed to chant mantras and all in the temple. They usually stay together.
Okay.
because anything from outside is corrupt for them. So they only stay together. But the other type of Hindus, they can stay anywhere they want.
Oh, wow. So do you feel safer when you're in a community of Christians there in your country?
Yes, yes, a lot actually. I would be happy to go and shop in a grocery store if it is owned by a Christian, if
Mm-hmm.
it's a meat shop owned by a Christian, and if it's a restaurant or public place. It's better to have them. Yeah.
So are you allowed to sell meat? Is there like in America to sell meat, there's all kinds of laws and loops and things that we have to jump through. Do you have those same laws and like health regulations and
Yes.
things like that? And does it
Yes.
make it hard to sell that stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. We have a regulation on selling lamb, the sheep, on and the goat. Um, uh, Somebody from the government, I think it's a meat inspector, I'm not sure, he comes and checks for any diseases and all. Then he would stamp the animal, then you can actually sell it.
Okay.
Yeah. But chickens, I never seen anybody going through chickens. I guess we can sell it directly. I've never seen anybody check chickens before. But
Yeah.
if there is a flu outbreak, then they would actually lower the prices, and they'll tell the people not to buy. They won't stop the chicken farmers or the chicken shops to be shut down. They don't do that, but
Hmm.
they will urge us not to buy, not to eat meat for a certain period of time.
Wow.
So chicken farmers actually dump their chickens in a somewhere in a huge place and leave. Some people actually take them home. They eat. Dogs eat most of them. Pigs eat. Leopards come and eat. Yeah. That's what happens in the flu season.
And
The bird flu. Yeah.
so are the leopards kept in their own communities?
Leopards.
Hmm. Oh,
So
lepers. You mean
leopards.
leopards, like
Sorry, panthers. Yeah. Leopards, panthers.
I know you have lepers there as well.
Oh, we have, yes, we have. Oh, those are considered as untouchables. They stay. I think they stay somewhere near temples. They eat, sleep there. If somebody dies, it would take like 4 or 5 days because we don't know where the person is moving. Nobody would check on them. If you see anybody with leprosy come close to you, people actually run away. Literally, they're so afraid of them.
Yeah. So there's no cure for it really. So yeah.
I don't know. There is a hospital here. There are so many hospitals for leprosy. You
Okay.
can see people filled, like jam packed in those hospitals. I don't know whether it is getting cured or I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Um. So is one. Hmm, how do I say this without getting us in trouble?
Okay.
Um. The pandemic when that happened.
Okay.
Did people in your country have to get the jab? Is how we say it usually on YouTube.
Yes. Um, First they said if you want to live, you have to take it. And there was a recorded message on your mobile phones. If you try to call someone, right, it wouldn't actually connect until the whole message gets played. So that would take around 40 seconds or 50, sometimes a minute, more than a minute. You have to listen to the message whole thing, then it
Hmm.
connects to the other person. So that happened for 2 whole years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you wouldn't it was very hard for us to get hold of any other people. If you're in an emergency, you're trying to call somebody, but you have to listen to that message in all three languages. Imagine three languages: Hindi, English, and my region talks Telugu. So again, three languages, we have to listen to the message and talk to them. But thing is, people actually we went for we went to the places to get the jab. because people were so afraid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also, since I'm a teacher here, I can have a free pass to roam anywhere if I get the jab first. So I got the jab, I got that yellow card that they give,
Mm-hmm.
and I could travel. Actually, I could shop, I could eat. It was a good thing for me because I'm a teacher, and I'm considered as I was considered as what do you call um, protected type. Same with the nurses and doctors. Yeah.
Okay.
So I told them like I have to go here to a school. Um, I, if it's a government school, if you're a government teacher, then you have to get the jab. It's a mandatory, and also for the children who are attending government schools, have to get the jab. Um, Private schools, it depends upon the headmaster or the management there.
Mm-hmm.
But people actually went in queues. They longed for jabs. I took two jabs, and they asked me to come for the third one. To take the third one, which is also says that it's mandatory. So,
Yeah.
been calling me. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, well, that's, I mean, it was mandatory for a lot of people here as well, um, especially teachers and nurses and things like that. And I'm sure you've heard plenty of that. Um,
Yes.
um, it's so, as a homesteader, you're raising your own food, you're doing all of that great stuff. Um, hold on a second. Thinking of my question. Um,
Shani.
as a teacher,
Yes.
uh, oh, I don't know why it said that. Autocorrect does the weirdest things sometimes. That's supposed to be hi.
Hi, bud flies. Hi, bud
Hi,
flies.
bed files.
Can I answer Shawnee? She
Yes.
has a question. Okay. Yes, I have plans to show grocery stores, markets, and butcher shops. Um, I don't have that on my channel yet. I have to take permission from them, and I'll get some videos soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does anybody else have any questions for him? Because, and please, if he doesn't answer, understand.
Yes. Thank you.
So you're homesteading for to control your own food. I think a lot of homesteaders in America do the same thing. Um, G, thank you, Gear, for sharing that. Please subscribe to his channel, guys. Um,
Thank you. Thank you.
um, Now, do you do that as your meat as well? Do you try to resource good food for your chickens so that when you eat them, um, you're getting your best health benefit as well?
Yes. I'm
Yes.
I'm growing my own grass, some millets again. So I'm trying to have 80% of the chicken feed from my own farm, so I
Hmm.
don't buy outside, um, to keep them, organic as much as possible. Um, yes. So yeah, I'm really concerned about our health nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the same here in America because it's. I mean, there's so much in pesticides now that I
Mm.
mean we don't. I mean, even the hormone, they even put hormones and pesticides here in America. How is that regulated there? Is it not regulated at all, or is it regulated, or how is that done?
Um, well, if you have kind of a pest that is affecting your crop, your farm, then you have to spray that pesticide because the farmers around you are
Mm-hmm.
gonna give you trouble if you don't do that, because if you do not spray, then their farms also will get affected. They
Mm-hmm.
also need to spray, so everybody has to be on the same page when it comes to pesticides. You cannot say I'm growing organic, I'm not gonna spray.
Yeah.
They'll become actually angry with you, and they might burn your crops in the night.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So, but what you do at your own home, they don't bother you with, right?
Yes, they don't bother it. Most
Okay.
of the
So,
people around me are people who are growing organic food. So
yeah,
even the rice is organic, the groundnuts is organic, so nobody is spraying anything. Um,
nice.
yeah,
So it
it's a
looks
good
like we
feeling.
have a question in our audience.
Um,
Um,
stupid phone. No,
is
not
the is the Bible rejected where you're at?
rejected. Um,
Is that what you mean?
I don't know what is that actually.
Yeah,
Rejected
I don't.
means. Um, well, we don't say we cannot promote Bible.
Yeah,
So if we cannot promote Bible, then there is no rejection.
yeah,
We might say Christianity. Yes, they'll reject Christianity. They don't
yeah,
want more Christians.
yeah.
That answers your question.
Right. Yeah,
It's
you're
like they
not
want.
allowed. You're not
Yeah.
allowed to promote. But are you allowed to promote the other religions?
Oh yeah, actually, if you want to promote Hinduism, they'll give you a car, they'll give you money, they'll give you all kind of advertisement stuff. You can actually become the head of that management, and you could actually make a lot of money, and you could go and convert people if you want.
Okay.
Yes, you can. What they do here is every morning they'll send some vehicles with the speakers on, so
Mm-hmm.
it will chant mantras and um, some temple sounds and some kind of stuff. They do that, and you could actually go to them, pay them some money, and they'll give you um, the offerings, whatever they offer to their gods. They'll give you that. You can eat them, and you can tell them, I want to be converted to your religion. Then
Yeah.
somebody would actually come to your house, and they would do that. You'll have, if your name is Christian name, then you have to change your name. Then I have to print it in the newspaper saying that you changed your name from this to this,
Okay.
and religion from this to this.
So Andale has a question for you. When you gather for church, is there joy or is it totally serious?
Uh, we are not in a fearful state when we sit in the church. It's not like that though. Um, yeah, you can be happy. Mm, just don't talk to each other. Why you have to be a Christian in India? Then I think you would actually dig up some old past things. And you would cry. So it's mostly like that though. And if you see women who come to church, they most of them have this. They have the talks about their children, how the children didn't get the jobs, why your children are still not yet married. So because of Christians, you are a
Hmm.
Christian. So that's the reason. So people actually talk about that a lot, and they feel really bad. They pour their hearts out, they pray, and they go back home. So
Wow.
joy, it's limited. Can I say
Hmm.
limited? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like America when you go around and you can see all the beautiful houses with Christmas lights and reindeers and whatnot in the front porch. Christmas hymns everywhere. People doing caroling and all.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've seen YouTube videos. I was like, look at this place. Look at the religious freedom they have,
Hmm.
and I long to it. It doesn't mean that I want to be there. I cannot be there. Mm, but when we see that, we watch in the YouTube, we watch in the TV, we watch celebrations from your country, various states, how they do that and all, how
Hmm.
all the families come together, sit and eat. Wish we could do that actually. You know,
Hmm.
there's no. there is no orchestra playing hymns. You don't. There is no place where you go and sit in an open theater where people actually have Christmas songs being played in the open air. You would just love sit there and enjoy, feel the spirit. No, we don't have that joy. No.
Oh, I'm sorry. It breaks my heart. Um, we do have a lot of that here, and we're very thankful for it. Um, I think we do have that in our churches, and we can go and pray for each other, and we can go and we can pray and do, we can share the gospel anywhere on a street corner. We can shout it out. Um, we do hear some backlash, but it's not against the law in any way. Um, so,
I
um,
would really pray whoever is listening, if you are an American, then please keep that tradition alive, save it,
fight
keep it.
for it.
Yeah, keep it. It's a beautiful thing you have. If you lose it, then you would be in the state that I'm in right now,
Yeah,
and this is not a happy state. So please don't let your country lose or go. It's. I know I'm not an American, okay, um, but I have this love because of your religious freedom and how people are there. And when I see stuff happening in your country, it breaks my heart actually. It's like uh, something precious is being taken away. And
hmm
I'm not gonna blame you people for, they say silent majority or something, but I'm not gonna blame you for that. I know you have your own issues there, you have your own problems to deal with, but don't let that be taken away from you. It's not a happy thing. It's not a happy state.
right, right. Thank you for that. Um, yeah, I mean, we need to fight for what we have. Um, I don't want to get too much into that, but I think you're right. I think that you are a picture of what can happen if we let that go.
Yes.
So,
Yes, I am.
um, yes, yes, Homestead for sure. Um, yeah, it's been interesting. I think that I think people are starting to stand up a little bit more here, and I think that that's good. Um, does anybody else have any other questions?
I also, can I say this,
Yes.
Lauren? If we have children, if your children are watching this, let me tell you, uh, I'm gonna direct my experience to your children. If you're watching this, please remember that I have grown in an one bedroom apartment. It's not even a bedroom; it's just a hall. Okay. If you have bedroom, then it's mostly for storing food and grains. We live in one room. We used to live in one room. We sleep on the ground together. We don't have separate rooms like you do or you did back when you were growing up. um, Life is hard. If you have to travel to school, there are no buses, not so many buses that you have.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get to drive our own vehicles when you're 16 years old. We don't get cars and stuff and all like that. We There's no such thing as privacy when growing up. So if you think that the life actually handled, gave you something that is very less or unhappy, then look at me and you can compare yourselves to me. You
Mm-hmm.
are way blessed than I am.
Yes.
You have parents who gave you a bigger house. You have freedom to do what you want, eat what you want. You can here, if your mom cooks a certain dish, if you are hungry, you have to eat that. You will not have choices. If you want to live and eat, go to school that day. You eat what it is prepared here, not because she wants to be like controlling and all, but that's the only thing that we have to eat, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that we have. So if your mom prepares something and if you do not like it, try eating it, yeah? Or just don't be mean because she didn't prepare your favorite. I we live without favorites. We forgot what's a favorite thing is like.
Mm-hmm.
It happens once in a year, or maybe if I get high grades, good grades, my mom makes desserts.
Mm.
Get an ice cream, or she actually prepares dessert at home. That's the luxury. But you people have those, and I think you're not realizing that you have been given a great life.
Yeah.
You still have doubts, then come to India.
Yeah.
Live with me. I'll give you some places here to live. See how it looks like. See how it is. See how it is when you don't have water to take shower because
Yeah.
of power cuts here. Or maybe if you are of lower caste, they'll give you supply water which is not that clean. Or to
Mm.
wash your clothes on your own with your bare hands, beat it against a rock to remove all the dirt. We don't have washing machines. We don't have washing machines like a place where you put coins and wash your laundry. No,
Mm-hmm.
you have to do it with your own hands. You wash it, you dry them up in the open field, tie
Yeah.
thread from one place to other. You do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you have been given is the greatest blessing. I don't know why God loves you people a lot. I'm sure He loves everybody equally, but this is my experience. So um, be happy and grateful for what we have. If not, you'll be like me or in my position or people like me. It's not a good thing. It's not a happy thing.
Right.
So be happy what you have. Thank you.
And on that note, I think I'll end our chat. I think that's a good way to end this. Not because we don't have more to talk about. I mean, we could do another session. There's so many interesting things that you deal with in your life that we don't have to deal with at all. And I thank you for being brave and kind and sharing your story with us. It really means a lot to me
Thank you.
personally.
Thank you for letting
Um,
me be here.
yeah. And I thank you for being strong and sharing your faith as well. Um, so God bless you. God bless
Thank you.
everybody in the chat. And
Thank
we'll
you.
see you next time here on Hedgehog's Homestead. And hopefully, we'll find another great interview for you. God bless. You can stay
Thank you,
here.
everybody. Thank you for coming.
Bye.